What's up, everyone? I'm just hanging out in my bedroom and I thought that I would do a little bit of foam rolling, so I invite you to join me. So if you've got a foam roller, I've got a trigger point. This is actually kind of a weak sauce one because it doesn't have any of the ridges. This is more smooth, so this is great for someone who is new to foam rolling and you don't like a lot of pain. And this is kind of like my granny one, as I like to say, but a good foam roller is the one with like the really sharp ridges, because that is really going to get into your muscle and really help you in your recovery. So I'm going to start by rolling out my hamstrings because I've been doing a lot of trail running, as a lot of you guys know, and I wanted to really make sure that my hamstrings are always working in optimal condition. But more than that, when our lower body tends to be tight, then over time it's going to cause issues with muscles in your back. So a lot of the times clients will come to me and they'll say, you know, I have a lot of tension in my lower back, sometimes my mid back, I'm not really sure what's going on. And then the first thing I ask them is, are you guys stretching? Are you foam rolling? So it's really important to make foam rolling and stretching part of your fitness practice. There is no such thing as a good workout without recovery. So even if you're doing cardio, if you're doing swimming, whatever you're doing, you always need to incorporate some form of foam rolling or stretching, both actually. So I'm going to start by rolling up my hamstrings. So I'm going to go ahead and place my left foot just kind of flat down on the surface of the floor. And then carefully, I'm just going to roll the trigger point kind of over my hamstring, taking my time nice and slow. Like I said, if you've got the one with the ridges, great. You're going to go even slower, and you really want to take your time. If you feel a little bit of crunchiness, like you feel a little bit of pain, then just kind of sit on that muscle for a little bit and just kind of roll a little bit on top of it. Feel free to kind of roll to the side a little bit. Roll towards your inner thigh. So we are going to be rolling out the inner thigh separately because that in and of itself, whew, it's painful, but it is so, so, so good for you. And I'm just going to be rolling on my hamstring for a good minute or so. I would say that's a pretty good amount of time to really make sure that you're really smoothing out that muscle, because what happens is when we are putting so much, when we're using our lower body so much, we have a buildup of lactic acid. And what happens is when we have enough lactic acid that builds up in the muscles, it actually causes the muscles to become super dense. So we are more prone to injury, or like I said, it might cause other muscle groups to start kind of going out of whack. So really, really important to keep the body limber, prevent you from getting injury, and to ensure longevity, because we're in fitness for the long run. This isn't just a quarantine thing that we're doing. We're working out because this is our lifestyle. So I've been foam rolling for ever since I started working out, consistently. So I would say since 2016, I've been foam rolling. As a trainer, it's really important for me to make sure that my body is always up and running. So for me, foam rolling is very, very, very important. I'm not going to lie to you though, there are times where I'm just go, 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 and I'm so big on just getting all my cardio in that I don't take the time to slow down and really focus on foam rolling and taking care of myself. So that's a weakness that I have as a trainer, but I believe that there's always something to learn. So I had to take a step back and be like, okay, I really need to make sure that I'm still foam rolling. And so that's why I thought I would do a video for you guys on foam rolling to remind myself as well as remind you that foam rolling is very, very important as part of your practice. I got a nice crunchy spot on my hamstring right there. It feels like a huge knot, to be honest. So I'm just kind of rolling back and forth on it. I mean, yeah, it's not the best feeling in the world, but that's how you loosen it up. And I know that this knot is pretty bad. It's going to take more than just this one foam rolling session for me to get this out. But hey, it's what I gotta do. That's what I gotta do. Okay, so I'm gonna be here for about another 30 seconds or so, and then I'm gonna roll up my calf a little bit. So my calf muscles don't get super, super tight. I'm not exactly sure why. It could be because my hamstrings are taking the majority of the brunt of it, because my hamstrings get very, very tight, in addition to my quads. So it's important to be rolling out all of these individual muscles. And you can see that I'm suspending myself up on my arms. So if you find that this is causing you a little bit of pain, you can go ahead and put your hips down and you can kind of try to slide across the floor. I mean, that's better than nothing. But if you can, try to suspend yourself up and really use your left foot to glide your hamstring forward and back. Just kind of rolling on my inner thigh a little bit. Okay, I think that's good. So now I'm going to push the trigger point right underneath my calf. And I'm just going to roll this out a little bit. And then again, just kind of trying to get all over the muscle. So just pivoting my foot, or my calf rather. And then any of the crunchy spots, just kind of let it sit, apply pressure, and then just kind of slowly roll it back a little bit. So we're not going to be here for too long. Then make sure that you're breathing. I know that sometimes if it gets super painful, it's easy to just kind of be like, stop breathing. But you got to keep breathing right through it. Okay. All right, I think that's good. So now I'm going to roll out my inner thighs. So this is probably the most painful part for me. My inner thighs are very, very tight. So as we're rolling out our inner thighs, so go ahead and start into tabletop. So hands stacked right underneath your shoulder blades. And then go ahead and extend your legs out. Come all the way down onto your belly. And we're just going to rest on our forearms and then grabbing that trigger point, sticking it right underneath your thigh. So you want to bring your knee up at about a 90-degree angle. And then using your left foot for leverage, slowly start rolling side to side. Yeah, especially as you get really close to that groin area, it's killer. But so, so good for you. I'm telling you. If you don't make foam rolling part of your practice, you are going to get injured. I can definitely guarantee you that. So if you're in this for the long run, then give your body what it needs, and that's proper recovery. It's just like how we have weekends, you know, where we take breaks from work. We got to take breaks from working out too. So this is like the body's weekend. As painful as it can be, it is so, so necessary. So I've got a little crunchiness right there, so I'm just gonna sit on that. And you know, the more you do this, the less painful it will be. Keep breathing right through it. Okay, 15 more seconds. Okay, quads. So now I'm just gonna stick this right underneath my right quad. I'm gonna roll that out, and we are done with the right side. See, it doesn't take you that long. Honestly, foam rolling really should not take you that long. So from here, just using my left foot as leverage again, I'm just gonna slowly glide across my right quad, kind of rolling over each side. So I noticed that I have a lot more pain kind of on the right side, like the very, very right side, the outside of my quad. So the quadriceps This is the biggest muscle that we have in the lower body. So we're using it for a lot of things, obviously. So it's very, very important to roll this muscle out. I'm actually just gonna readjust. And you might have to readjust a couple times just to make sure that you're in a good placement so that you're really, really getting into every spot. Keep breathing. Okay. Whew. All right. Let's switch to the left side. So same thing that we just did, except the left. So we're going to start with the hamstring, placing the right foot down for leverage. So for me personally, my left side tends to be more powerful than my right. I'm not quite sure why that is, because I'm right-handed, but that's actually very, very common for people. So my right side tends to be a lot more tight than my left side, because I find that because my right side's weaker, it's compensating. So as I roll out my left side, it's definitely not going to be as painful as the right. So for a lot of you, that might be the case. One side might hurt a lot more than the other. I am noticing a big fat knot on this side too. And you'll feel knots. And when you do, just kind of roll over it back and forth. It's going to hurt a little bit, but this is what you got to do. And honestly, like, just stretching just is not enough. Like when you are using like the prickly trigger point and you can actually dig into those muscles, that is the best thing you can do for yourself. Or if you have a partner that's with you, you can have them like really dig into your tissue with their thumbs. That's called a deep tissue massage. So if you can do like some deep tissue massages, that is probably the best. But of course, not everybody has access to someone who's willing to do that for them. So a foam roller, a prickly foam roller is typically the best option. Available option, I should say. So we're going to sit here for a little bit. Yeah, the hamstring is kind of like a sleeping, time bomb, I should say, because we put so much strain on it and it's easy for us to forget about it. Because sometimes, and I notice this with a lot of clients, that they will have pain in their hamstrings, but they won't really notice it because they use their quadriceps for so much. So they don't really notice like what's really happening with the hamstrings until they come to me and they're like, oh, my back hurts, or I have a back injury. So by that time, there could still be time to, to stretch and foam roll and really make sure that, that you're dialed in and that you're fine. But sometimes that's not the case. And I know a lot of the times when we're working 24/7 and we're always busy, taking care of the body isn't always first on the priorities list. And I know foam rolling, sometimes it seems like when you're already pressed for time, it's like, well, I gotta run, I gotta cycle, I gotta do all these things. I don't have time to foam roll, I need to get my cardio in. But as I said, if we're going for longevity, then we've got to do the little things. Absolutely need to do the little things. I don't know if you guys can actually see like where my knot is, but it's like slipping on the on the foam roller. It's not going to come out in this one session. I'm going to have to keep working at it. So that's why it's important every time after you're done with a workout You just foam roll for, even if it's for 15 minutes, that's what I always say, 15 minutes. And if you can afford to give the time, do 15 minutes before workout and after. So rolling up the calf. So go ahead and push your trigger point or foam roller down to your calf. Same thing. Keep breathing. I know it's easy to forget to breathe when we're doing these, but just keep on breathing. Just kind of rolling it over. And when you're rolling out the calves, don't go too far down. You just want to pretty much get the muscle. So don't worry about going all the way down to your ankle because there's not really any muscle there. That's more joints and tendons. You don't want to hurt yourself. So just go over the muscle. And that's the thing. Go ahead and flip over. We're going to do our left quad. This is only meant for muscles, just as a word of advice. This is only for muscles. So you'll see like on my next episode where I show you how to roll out your upper body, you're only going over muscles. You're not going over your spine. You're not going over any bones. It's just strictly for muscles. Okay, so sticking this under, let's do the thigh first. So let me roll this way so you can actually see what I'm doing. So again, go ahead and come down onto your forearms. We're going to go ahead and place this right underneath our thigh. So bring the knee up at about a 90-degree angle. And to be honest, for me, because I prefer the prickly foam roller, I feel this, but I feel a much more intense massage when I use the prickly one. And you'll notice that there's probably a little bit more tenderness, closer to the groin, just because we're using those muscles a lot when we're doing squats, when we're doing jump squats, lunges, all of those movements, we're definitely utilizing those inner thigh muscles. Keep breathing. Okay, and then from here, last exercise, we're gonna go ahead and roll out our left quad. So placing that right underneath your left quad. Roll it out. So breathing is really important. If you really find the tenderness and it's really starting to burn, that's really, really good. It means you need to keep foam rolling. Like I said, even 10, 15 minutes a day, start your day, end your day with it. Almost there. Give me another 30 seconds. Breathe. Almost there. Give me another 10 more seconds. Oh, okay. We are done. I'm gonna go ahead and set this over to the side. Nice job, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me on today's foam rolling session. So today we only focused on lower body. Next time we'll go over different moves that you can do for the upper body. Until then, take care of yourself. Make sure that you're drinking lots of water, making sure that you're taking care of your body. My name is Christina, and I'll see you on my next video.